All right, welcome. Today I'm going to be talking about AI versus reality. And it looks like Cheyenne just joined us. So, hi, Cheyenne. You got here just in time. So, we're just starting the presentation here. Okay, so let me advance my slide here. So, if you don't know me already, my name is Wayne Wallace, also known as the Wizard. And I've been a photographer for over 2 decades, and I have a master's in documentary film editing. And my passion is helping business owners elevate their marketing with great photos and videos. So let me first, before I jump into the presentation, because it may sound like I'm bashing AI, I love technology. I love the possibilities of AI, and I use AI daily. And it's got its place, just like everything else. It's got its time and its place. So I ask you rhetorically, of the images on the right, which one is real? Well, they're both real if you call AI generated images real. So this is a photograph, the fork, spoon, and knife sitting on a plate. I took this photograph when I went to photography school. I used a 4x5 field camera, and I put in a big piece of 4x5 Kodachrome in that camera, and I set up all the lights, and I captured the light. And after the film was exposed, I had to put it in a dark place and send it off to the lab, and then get the lab to develop it and send it back to me. That took about a week. Okay. So this documents reality, and a moment in time was captured, and this is real. Like, the intention is true, and the result is authentic, and it's beautiful. When you look at the Kodachrome slide, it's beautiful. Nothing matches it. This is a synthograph. Now, what is a synthograph, you may ask? Well, no light was captured, no camera or lens were used. It doesn't document reality. Pixels were generated by an algorithm that resembles a photograph, because I gave it my photograph and I said, can you make something that looks like this? And AI did that. And it gave me 20 versions. And this is a fake. Its intention is false. And the result is definitely inauthentic. So, question I have for you in your business and your presentation of yourself and your business: are you standing out from the crowd? Well, pretty soon the crowd is going to look all the same. There's going to be a sea of AI sameness out there, and you're already starting to see it, because people are using AI to generate images for marketing and even headshots of themselves. And they're starting to look like everyone else. Okay. So here's an example of an AI headshot. So the before shot is obviously the real shot, and then the after shot is the AI shot. It kind of looks like her, kind of, right? Of course, the snapshot is a bad snapshot. It's not a really good photograph. But I guarantee no one's going to ever look at your AI generated photo and say, wow, that's a great photo of you. Because it's not, as per the definitions I just gave you. It's not a photograph of you. It's a synthograph of you, right? So obviously I'm against AI photo shoots, because they are not the real thing. So now what is cool is you can create a character or an avatar like I did. I gave my photo, this photo right here, to AI, and I said, make me a wizard. And it made me a wizard. So this kind of looks like me, right? It's got the round glasses. It's kind of got my nose shape. It's kind of got my beard a little bit, but it's not me. It's a synthograph of me. It's an avatar of me. So what will you choose? We've all seen the Terminator before. the original. Hopefully, if you haven't, go check it out because that's the age we're living in now. And you have to decide, are you going to be true or are you going to be a lie? Are you going to be authentic or inauthentic? Are you going to be real or are you going to be fake? So what I use AI for right now in my business is to enhance photos and videos. So this woman on the left here, she came to her photo shoot with jeans on. Why she didn't wear black pants, I don't know, but she thought it was a headshot. So I guess she thought she didn't need to wear jeans, but she didn't know I was going to do a full body shot of her as well. So a little tip for you, always come fully dressed in your outfit to your photo shoot and bring multiple outfits, because a good photographer like me is going to capitalize on the moment and create a bunch of photos. So if you have different outfits, you can possibly get some more photos. So what I did was I used AI to take her pants off and put black pants on. And then the guy on the right is a gentleman that I photographed, and I didn't compose the photo properly. So you see the one on the left, it's kind of missing some body, right? It's not high enough in the frame. And obviously that's the one he chose, right? He happens to choose the one that I didn't compose properly. All the other ones look fine, except for that one. He liked that one. So I said, well, let me see what I can do with AI. So I gave this photo to AI and I said, can you extend the body and the tie and the shirt and everything else? And it did. It's amazing. I could have never recreated his lower half of his body by hand, like with Photoshop. It would have looked horrible, right? But AI did it in just 20 seconds. So there are definitely good uses for AI. So now we're going to change gears a little bit. We're going to talk about video and documentary video. So you're not Hollywood. You don't have the budget of Hollywood. You don't have the time of Hollywood. And you certainly don't have the skills of Hollywood. But there is a solution for you. So I'm going to give you a Hollywood example so we can compare. So this is a scene from Top Gun. And you've probably all seen Top Gun before. It's a new Top Gun.
Maverick to range control. Entering Point Alpha. Confirm green range.
Maverick, range control. Green range is confirmed. I don't see an event scheduled for you, sir.
Well, I'm going anyway.
Nice.
Setting time to target, 2 minutes, 15 seconds.
2:15, that's impossible.
File attack point. Maverick's inbound.
Okay, so if you haven't seen Top Gun, go watch it. But the point is that the whole movie was scripted, and then they shot every scene. So they shot the scene of Tom in the cockpit, and then they shot the scene of the person, the girl saying nice, right? And then they shot the scene of everybody kind of leaning in on their seats and, you know, getting excited about Tom doing the run. So every part of that was scripted, and it was put together like a puzzle piece. So the editor came along and put together all the shots as they were laid out in the script. Now, documentary style video is unscripted. So it's nothing like Hollywood. Basically, there's no script, there's random footage, and the editor creates the story, which is very different from Hollywood. So in documentary, you may hear some other words like actuality. So sometimes when I'm talking, I'll say, you know, just grab some actuality footage. Well, that just means document a real life event, like whatever's happening. Or I may say, you know, it's more real. It's reality footage. Again, you're capturing the real world experience of whatever's happening. So all these words can kind of be used interchangeably. documentary, actuality, and reality. So the benefits of documentary style videos are many. It builds authenticity and trust with your audience. It captures or it establishes emotional connection with people. It humanizes your brand. That's why we don't want to use AI, right? Because that's not human. Provides educational content, creates transparency, gives depth to the narrative, maximizes the versatility and the reach, shows competitive difference between you and your competitor, and maximizes shareability on social media. That's what we want. We want to be shared on social media. And then the best part is it attracts your ideal client demographic, because people are going to be drawn to your story. And those are the kind of people that you want, because they're going to be the people that'll hire you. So what are the elements of a documentary style video? Well, like I said, it's random footage of just whatever's happening in your world. There's interviews or speaking. It's non-scripted, so you don't have to write a script. The audio track is crafted to tell a story by the editor. The pictures or B-roll support the audio story, and that's what the editor does. And then the speaker appears occasionally, and we call that in vision. So you see the speaker talking, right? Their lips are moving along with the audio. And then there's no length requirements. So I've got an example documentary style video here. It's 59 seconds long. It's got 6 different speakers. It's got 20 B-roll clips. It's got 6 speakers in vision, so you can see their lips moving as they talk. And then it's an unscripted audio track. Whoever the editor was put together this clip without a script. So I'm going to give you a visual of the timeline here, just to kind of show you that visually. So each one of these segments at the top are the 6 speakers. And then down here, all these yellow lines are the B-roll. So these are the B-roll shots. And then the red ones are where the speakers are in vision speaking. So this is what I call a breakdown of the clip. And this is just a clip I found online, and I thought, wow, that is a great example of a documentary style video. And you're probably going to be shocked when I play it. So let me go ahead and play it, and then we can talk about it.
Welcome to the first meeting of the White House FIFA Task Force. In my first term, I negotiated the return of the World Cup to America, and now in my second term, I'll have the honor of hosting the World Cup for the first time of any president in more than 30 years. Starting this June, the United States will host the 2025 Club World Cup, and next summer we'll host the official 2026 World Cup tournament.
America will welcome the world, everyone who wants to come here to enjoy, to have fun, to celebrate the game.
I think that you'll see the very best of the United States of America, both in athletic competition, but also in hospitality.
This is one of those events that I think is going to be remarkable and will stand the test of time as the world's greatest sporting event ever held and conducted.
Great events don't happen unless you have great planning, and starting well over a year in advance, putting your team together to make sure this event goes off without a hitch. I thank you for that.
Thank you, everybody, very much. Appreciate it.
Okay. So, regardless of whether you like Trump or not, if it's good enough for the White House, it's good enough for us, right? So I don't know who's doing this at the White House, but they got somebody that knows what they're doing. Because when I saw this, I was like, that is a perfect example of what business owners can do in their business. So just to break it down a little bit, so obviously this is about the World Cup, and all this stuff here is B-roll. So all these shots of, you know, Trump walking in and greeting people, and then holding up the document that he signed. And then it comes over here to where he's about to speak. And this is actually where you see him speaking.
Time of any president in more than 30 years.
So that's a little tiny clip, right? And then later on, more B-roll, and then another little tiny clip. And then this is, I don't know who it is. but
America will welcome the world, everyone who
probably the FIFA guy, right? So you saw him speaking. And then later on, you saw Vance speaking. So you hear him speaking as he walks in, right? So we'll play a little bit ahead of that.
the game.
I think that you'll see the very best of the United States of America, both in athletic competition, but also in hospitality.
So you hear him speaking before you see him speaking. So that's what we call a J cut. You hear his audio before you see him speak. And then he only speaks on camera for a few seconds there, right? And then the next
This
part,
is one of those events that
You
I
hear the
think is
lady
going to be
speaking.
remarkable and will stand the test of time as the
and then you see her speaking. So again, that's a envision.
world's greatest sporting event ever held and conducted.
Great events don't happen unless you
And
have
this
great
guy.
planning and starting well over a year in advance, putting your team together to make sure this event goes off without a hitch. I thank you.
So then you see him speak. So you heard everyone speak before you saw them speak. So we just call that a J cut with their audio. And then the B-roll is covering up their speaking while they're speaking. And it just matches up with the video at the end. So this is a perfect example of how we can also use documentary video in our business. This was a meeting. It was nothing more than a meeting. And there was a photographer there, videographer there that captured the meeting happening, probably multiple videographers, to be honest with you, because it's the White House, right? And they have a whole team of people. But, you know, you can do it with one camera. Like, it doesn't have to be multiple video people. And then there's shots of them speaking. Nobody was ever speaking to camera. It was all off camera speaking. And then the editor put this together, and it's 59 seconds. So I thought, wow, that's a perfect example of what I've been talking about here in the Marketing Your Business with Video Facebook group. So if you're watching this video somewhere other than the Facebook group, then you can scan that QR code and you can go to marketingyourbusinesswithvideo.com and you can join the Facebook group and learn more about creating this type of video for your business. And then finally, here's a link to my website. You can go to waynewallace.com and schedule a time to chat with me if you'd like. So that's our official presentation. So I'm going to stop the recording